Today's video, we are working with the Burton Step-on bindings. But the big question is, are they legit or are they just a novelty? 3 years with the Burton Step-on bindings. When I first got them 3 seasons ago, I did an initial impressions video. I am so stoked today. I am trying the Burton Step-on bindings, not the ones from like 1990 whatever, but the new ones that they've just come out with, which will be linked in the description below. I thought it was only fair to update you on how I feel about them 3 seasons later, with over 200 days total on my original pair of boots and Burton Step-on bindings. Last season, I actually started filming a video. I'm at opening day at Copper Mountain for the 2018-2019 season. I have had the bindings for a whole season and I've ridden on them at least 50 different times. So I want to go through and do a video how they work, how you get out of them, how you get into them, and my final thoughts if I would buy them again a year later. But I never got around to editing them, so I am going to be editing this video with 3 seasons worth of content compiled with my final thoughts on if these are just a gimmick or if they're legit. The Step-ons just come in a sort of a carry tote bag. Inside the bag, there's a set of bindings, all the hardware you need to mount it, a snowboard leash to hook up to your front foot, as well as some of Burton's fine reading material. Not only are these incredibly easy to get into, they're incredibly easy to get out of. And it doesn't have to be on a groomer. That's one of the big questions I get. How are they in powder? How are they in powder? How are they in powder? They are incredible. Absolutely incredible. So if your question is, well, what about a powder day? Do I really want to invest this much money on a binding that I can't use on a powder day? I am here to tell you, you can. And you can easily. Let me show you how they actually work. So you notice there's no strap here or here on the binding. Back here, there's a cleat on the boot that will slide down into this channel. And you see there's a lever that goes up and down that locks it into place. And in the front, you have these little guys here that your boots clip down and under and lock into place. And when you want to get out, it's as easy as pulling this lever on the side and lets you pull the boot right out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Just like that, you can keep going right off of the lift. There are some things you need to know about these bindings. Your pants leg has to actually be up in this little clip. If it's not, you try to put them on and your pants jam between the cleat and the place you slide it into, that's a problem. You're gonna come loose or it's gonna get locked in place and be a real pain getting off. This is sort of scary. Whoa! Did I happen to say how much fun these are in powder yet? First get these bindings, you're going to hear this chatter while you're riding. You do get used to it and it doesn't do anything except make this little chatter noise. It doesn't make them less responsive, it doesn't make them more responsive. It's just something that happens with this binding. And another thing that really messes with you is the first time you go on a lift with no straps and your board's just dangling there. I actually do recommend using the leash. Peace of mind using that leash. It's not like you take your foot in and out of that binding all day anyways, so putting that leash on once is really no big deal. This year, Burton started selling the boots and the bindings separately. That's huge because the first 2 seasons you had to buy them as a combo. They're starting to license this technology to other companies. DC Boots will be able to implement the Burton Step-on technology into their boots. So if you prefer DC boots over Burton boots, you're about to get a lot more choices. And in time, you're going to see this technology becoming more widespread through the entire snowboard industry. It's really just that good. One of the really big things I have people ask me, are you going to pop out if you fall? And let me tell you, I have made some serious falls over the last couple of years. Not once did I ever come close to my binding popping out. Woo. It's really steep. Oh, fuck yeah. Holy shit. So my GoPro broke off. I can't believe I found this. So even through moguls, powder, groomed runs, they stay on your feet, which is really, really important. The binding has 2 lock modes. One is if you're on groomers, packed powder, things like that. Double click that heel cleat in there. That way it is super locked in. The second is you're really only gonna get 1 click if there's powder between your boot and the binding itself. Both of these ways work perfect. This thing works like a dream. I really don't have any complaints. Your binding does click into your toes, which gives you a much more responsive feel to your foot, to the board. When I first got these, I was pretty skeptical on how well they would actually do, but I'm telling you, the way that your feet lock into the bindings, if you're one of those guys that wants to feel like there's no movement at all, you can crank your boas down and you're in there. A few years ago, I was got in a car wreck. I had lower back pains that flare up if I'm bending over for too long or too much. So these are a lifesaver for me. So if you have lower back pain and you like to snowboard, hey, this is definitely something you might want to consider. Hey everybody, my name is Sean Oz, and this is the World of Oz, where I like to share with you tips, tutorials on GoPros, drones, how to use that stuff to make awesome fun snowboarding content, as well as just really fun cinematic videos. If you're into any of that kind of stuff, remember to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Is it a gimmick or are they legit? I personally think they are beyond legit. I wish I could give you guys some discount codes, but I don't have them because Burton doesn't sponsor me in these videos. These are all my own money and my own true thoughts on these bindings. I hope this video answers the questions that you had about the Burton Step-on bindings, and again, if it doesn't, let me know in that comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back at you. Thanks again, everyone. This is now my 3rd day trying the Burton Step-ons, and so far, I'm really digging them. Whoa. Didn't pop out. Thank God I had a helmet on. That hurt.